Teyana Taylor had always been known as the woman who could do it all. Singer, actress, dancer, and businesswoman. Her energy was unmatched, her voice was her weapon, and her career was on fire. But you won't believe how quickly everything turned upside down. It started like any other week. She was preparing for one of the most important appearances of her life, sharing the stage with Michelle Obama. This was more than just an event. It was a moment she had dreamed of for years, a chance to stand beside one of the most admired women in the world. But destiny took an unexpected turn. Just days before, during what she thought was a simple checkup, doctors found something that made her heart stop. A growth on her vocal cords. The words from the doctor were serious, almost cold. The growth had to be removed immediately, or she could lose her voice forever. For Teyana, her voice wasn't just part of her career. It was her career, her identity, her soul. Let me tell you, the timing couldn't have been worse. Her album was ready, a short film was on the way, and her schedule was packed with performances. She tried to convince herself it was just vocal strain, but here is the shocking part. This wasn't strain at all. This was something dangerous, something that could end everything she had worked for. She announced the news in a raw and emotional Instagram post. No makeup, no costumes, just a hospital gown and a simple message. I'm going under today. Send me love and prayers. The post spread instantly. Fans flooded her comments with prayers, celebrities sent words of encouragement, and hashtags started trending. But behind the love and support, there were also whispers. Questions about what this meant for her career, doubts about whether she would ever sound the same again. This is where it gets interesting. As she lay in the hospital bed, waiting for surgery, she thought about the Michelle Obama event she was missing. That one performance could have been her biggest moment yet. Instead, she was staring at the ceiling, hooked up to machines, wondering if she'd even have a voice when she woke up. The craziest part was that she had been feeling the warning signs for weeks. A roughness in her voice, a moment during a sound check where her voice suddenly gave out, leaving her standing on stage in complete silence. Still, she pushed through, believing rest and tea would fix it. But now she was here, minutes away from being rolled into the operating room, and the truth was sinking in. If this surgery didn't go perfectly, she might never sing again. Her last thought before they put her under wasn't about fame or music. It was about her daughters and whether they'd ever hear her sing to them like before. The cold air of the operating room hit her face as they wheeled her in, bright surgical lights glaring down like a spotlight she didn't want. The anesthesiologist began the countdown from 10, and each number felt heavier than the last. She wasn't afraid of dying. She later admitted that. What she feared most was waking up and not sounding like herself anymore. This was her instrument, the thing that had carried her through every stage, every hit song, every standing ovation, and now it was in someone else's hands. The doctors worked slowly, carefully, because the growth was larger and more complicated than they had first thought. The surgery that was supposed to take an hour stretched into almost 3. Her family waited outside, pacing the halls, checking their phones, just to keep from breaking down. Every minute felt like an hour. When the surgeon finally walked out with a small smile, relief rushed through the room. The growth had been removed successfully. But the recovery was going to be long and strict. No talking, no singing, not even whispering for weeks. For someone like Teyana, who lived through her voice, that was almost torture. She woke up with her throat raw and every swallow painful. When she tried to speak, nothing came out. The silence was so heavy it almost broke her. Doctors handed her a whiteboard so she could write her thoughts. Her first shaky message read, "Am I still me?" Those 4 words said everything. But here is the shocking part. While she was battling this physical and emotional pain, the world outside had already started spinning its own story. News outlets were talking about her sudden disappearance from the Michelle Obama event. Fans speculated about her health, and some even accused her of exaggerating or using the surgery for publicity. The cruel comments cut deep. She was lying in a hospital bed, stitched and voiceless, yet strangers were debating her truth online. Through all the noise, her daughter stayed by her side, drawing pictures and leaving them on her pillow. Friends dropped off flowers, soups, and notes. But even in that warmth, she could feel the shadow of doubt creeping in, the fear that maybe she'd never come back the same. This is where it gets interesting. Just when things seemed quiet in her hospital room, the door slowly opened, and in walked someone she hadn't expected to see. Amon Shumpert, her ex-husband and the father of her two daughters, stood there holding a bouquet of white roses. They hadn't been seen together in months. Their breakup had been messy, splashed across gossip sites with rumors of cheating, trust issues, and arguments over co-parenting. Some fans had taken his side, others fiercely defended her, and the tension between them had seemed impossible to repair. Yet, here he was, standing by her bed in the most vulnerable moment of her life. He spoke softly, almost guilty, saying he just wanted to check on her. She couldn't speak, so she just nodded, her eyes filling with tears. Her hand shook as she wrote on her whiteboard, "Thank you for coming." According to a source close to her family, his visit wasn't planned. He had heard from mutual friends how serious the surgery had been and rushed to the hospital without telling anyone, not even her management team. But the craziest part was how quickly the moment went from private to public. A nurse had discreetly snapped a photo of them hugging, and within hours, it was all over Instagram and Twitter. But here's the shocking part. The internet exploded. The blurry hospital hug trended above major world news. Fans were split down the middle. Some called it beautiful, saying it was proof that no matter what happened between them, he still cared. Others accused him of using her vulnerable moment to fix his public image. Celebrity blogs jumped in instantly, posting side-by-side pictures of their hospital hug and their wedding day. The comments became a battlefield of love, suspicion, and pure gossip. And while everyone else was debating if this meant a reconciliation, something far more complicated was happening behind the scenes. Something that would stir up even more controversy in the days to come. What makes this story different is how quickly that single photo turned into a wildfire that no one could control. By the next morning, the hashtag with their names was trending at #1, overtaking political news and celebrity scandals. Major brands even began reaching out to her team, offering huge deals to document her recovery. But here is the shocking part. Some of those offers came with a strange condition. They wanted Iman to be part of it. To her close friends, it felt like people were trying to turn her private pain into a marketing opportunity. One of them even told reporters, "She's not even healed yet, and they're already trying to cash in on this." Behind closed doors, the attention wasn't as sweet as it looked online. Industry insiders whispered about tension brewing between Iman and a well-known music producer Teyana had been rumored to be close with. It became a territorial storm, with jealousy and speculation swirling faster than she could keep up. Her PR team begged her to release an official statement to take control of the narrative, but she refused, only posting short Instagram stories with inspirational quotes. She was still in pain, still voiceless, and the constant noise outside her hospital room felt like too much to bear. But this is where it gets interesting. While the world was busy dissecting her personal life, Teyana was quietly making a decision she had been avoiding for months. She knew it would change not just the way people saw her, but the entire course of her career. The craziest part was she didn't tell anyone, not her team, not even her closest friends, until it was already set in motion. And when the news finally broke, destiny took an unexpected turn once again. It wasn't just about her recovery anymore. It was about a bold move that no one saw coming, one that would shake both her fans and the entertainment industry to its core.